I'm Lisa Federico, and this is Inside Northwest Columbus. After spending decades in corporate marketing, I traded boardrooms for backyards because the best stories are happening right here at home. Every week, you'll meet entrepreneurs, creatives, and everyday neighbors doing extraordinary things across Worthington and Northwest Columbus. So let's jump into this week's conversation. Welcome to Inside Northwest Columbus. This month in January, we are talking everything health and wellness. And I am so excited about my guests today, Rich and Kim Hanschu. They are the owners of Sandman Sleep. Welcome to the show.
Thank you for having us. It's a pleasure.
Oh, it's so good to have you here. So I met Rich and Kim. God, it's going on 2 years now.
It's crazy how time flies.
Yeah, and I was fascinated by your business. Mm-hmm. So Sandman Sleep, for those of you who don't know, they're located on Morse Road. They have an amazing showroom where they showcase online mattresses that you and I can go and try. And if you're going to spend a couple $1,000s on a mattress, you better make sure you like it because the process of returns and everything else can be a little chaotic. Mm-hmm. And let's face it, we all sleep or try to sleep every single night.
Yes,
so you should probably invest in a good one.
Right.
But I love the concept that people can try. And I love the community aspect that you bring to the table. So I got to ask, and we're going to get into all kinds of things today, but I have to ask, of all things, how did you get started with this business? Because it's a very different model than how people are used to, right, buying mattresses.
Yeah.
So we initially started with our partners out of Chicago. The first kind of business model that we're involved with was the pop-up mattress showroom, doing fundraisers at high schools, middle schools, and some other type of fundraisers.
Yeah, to like benefit like sports teams.
Right.
Or,
it's fascinating to me. I would never think of that as a potential fundraiser.
Yeah, a portion of the proceeds would go to a particular team or, whatever, the band. I mean, whatever.
Right.
Whoever decided to do the fundraiser.
And how did that work exactly? So if someone was going to put on a fundraiser, they would have you come in and you would deliver all the mattresses and how does that take you through that?
So the original concept was it was a one-day mattress showroom. So whether it's football team, band, they would have their volunteers to come in and help, and we literally brought in 22 mattresses, frames, and everything like that. We set the
bed skirts, pillows. Sorry, I keep interrupting you.
But we set everything up.
It's a perfect marriage. Keep going. I'm sorry.
That's all right.
Kim and I do this all the time. As you know.
But no, it was a great concept to begin with, and when the pandemic hit, we were just getting ready to start looking at this business model, and they had opened Chicago. So all of the fundraisers had shut down because the schools weren't allowing it. And the first store was in Chicago, and it was up and running just as the pandemic was happening. So the showroom was shut down for about a month. And then we kept getting a lot of calls, people wanting a private appointment because you can't find these beds anywhere that we represent. So before we knew it, the business model showed that we're right back to pre-pandemic sales in our Chicago location. So we were approached by our partners that they wanted to try the concept in a smaller market. So we decided to invest in it. I think we're going into our fourth year now, and it's been really a great adventure for us.
Yeah, It looks like you guys have had a lot of fun. You had a showroom that was downtown. People would come from all over.
They would.
As far as Chicago.
We've had Canada,
that's crazy.
Indiana, Michigan, Kentucky, West Virginia. Yeah, I think Canada was the furthest. Now, not like, not way up there, but, right on the other side of Detroit, like Windsor area. But still, it's more of a destination.
I was going to say.
Than just pop in and say, oh, hey, let's shop for a mattress kind of thing.
And what strikes me, too, is that your model is so different from a typical retail store. So let our viewers know, what happens when they come to your showroom. How does this all work? Because you represent mattress lines that you can only buy online.
Correct.
And you have a lot of them. So take our listeners through, how does this work? I think they'd love to know.
So the approach that we take is when a customer comes in, whichever mattress they've mentioned to us, and we always ask, how'd you find out about us? Is there a particular brand you've been researching? And that's the brand we take them to begin with. We try to get them comfortable in the showroom. We let them know we got restrooms here, coffee, water. Kim came up with the idea of this pillow bar,
which I love.
So people can come and grab a style of pillow that they like. And then we start the process of, trying to get them comfortable. Depending on the style of customer it is, there are some customers that are super educated with the different beds and are coming in for a specific one. And we guide them to that. And then we just let them relax on the bed, because what we don't want to do is hover. Yeah. Anyone that's gone into a typical retail type of mattress or furniture showroom, you can always find the guy. I mean, look, he's underneath the table right there looking to see if
right.
we're ready to buy yet.
Weird.
Now he's back over here, and it's uncomfortable.
Yeah. And I will say your showroom is very comfortable. Outside of the fact that we have a great relationship.
Right.
But when you come in, and I think for me, it's just weird to relax on a mattress in front of everybody.
Yeah.
And so I love that you have showroom hours as well as private appointments. Mm-hmm. And this way, if you're not comfortable stretching out and, really,
right.
because you got to try it. The concept is just amazing.
Yeah, it's no pressure. We don't like the pressure. We like a very relaxed environment. We educate on, the mattresses, and then we just kind of let the customers lay around and kind of get a feel. And, if you have questions, let us know. We're always here, but right. Just kind of relax and get in your sleep position like you would at home, and let us know how it feels, and then we go from there.
Yeah, and it's so important. We spend so much of our lives sleeping.
Oh, yes.
And there's nothing worse than having a mattress mm-hmm. or a pillow, right, mm-hmm. that just mm-hmm. doesn't work.
Right.
My husband and I just bought pillows from you
mm-hmm.
Last month. We're super happy. It seems like years ago, like when I was a kid, I think my pillow lasted like 15 years.
Oh, absolutely.
Right? I mean, you never had to. Yeah, that is not the case anymore,
no.
especially with pillows. But you do pillows and sheets and mattresses. So
and
you're kind of like one-stop
mm-hmm.
shop.
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah. And tell me the difference outside of the comfort level, but because you represent these online mattress companies, how does the purchasing work? Like if I love this mattress, I just tell you, hey, I love the mattress. You go ahead and order it?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so we do this as an affiliate, and we were kind of purposeful with our business model because, by doing it as an affiliate, what we've taken out of the equation is the typical retailer has where are they going to make their money on their beds. And if you ever notice how they kind of guide you, they're going to guide you to higher end beds. If you're on the lower end beds, they're really not going to, mess with you. Is the best way to put it. So we designed this to where for us, our biggest focus is to make sure you find the right bed. Even if it's not at our showroom, even if you find that Tempur-Pedic or, another brand is a better fit for you that we don't carry, that's great because we really just want to get you to the right fit. Right. It's really the important part of it. The brands also do a big push to get people into the showroom because what they find is, 70% of the population won't buy a bed, even though they got a great return policy, online unless they try it. So for years, they've only had that 30% of the market that they could sell to. Now we're opening up that 70%, and we're getting ready to open our 10th location. So we really like the business concept. The brands have really been supportive of us. Yeah. So that's been a big part of how we've been able to make this grow.
Yeah, and so they ship the mattress directly to the client. So you don't have to worry about
anywhere in the U.S.
Yeah. And they're all manufactured to order. So these mattresses aren't sitting in a box somewhere in a warehouse on their side. Right. They're hand finished at the end before they ship them. So once you place your order, then they will manufacture your mattress, free shipping to the home. We also offer like a white glove delivery service where we can set up, deliver, and remove old mattress, that kind of thing.
Right.
But it's all manufactured to order, and you just come in, you try out whatever you like, then we get it ordered for you.
Yeah. And let's talk about returns because I think that is something that flips people out a little bit, especially with online ordering of anything, let alone mattresses. How does let's say I'm in your showroom. I love this mattress. I buy it. It gets delivered to me. 30 days goes by and I'm like, ooh, I'm not digging this. What happens? How does this work?
So it's always a fun story with people that have that same question when they're in our showroom. And sometimes we play with it a little bit. There's 4 ways you fold the mattress in order to get it back in the box. So make sure you save the box. And the look you're giving me right now is a look that a lot of people get. And then we kind of open up and say, no, it's the brand's responsibility. They're going to come pick it up. They're going to take and donate it to a local charity is what we do with those mattresses because they're new. They're typically within 60 to 90 days old from production. And it's a good fit for someone else. And that's why we donate them.
Yeah.
And they compress them and they roll them to fit them in the box. Then they shrink wrap the mattress. So I'll tell the box is maybe this tall.
Yeah.
Depending on the size of the mattress, the weight,
But I don't have to do that. You send somebody out.
We can do
pick
that.
it up,
Yeah. Oh, yes, absolutely. Yeah.
The compression part of it is when they produce a mattress and they ship it to the home.
Right.
We're going to take the mattress if we have to pick it up.
Yes.
And the other big thing is with us doing this as an affiliate, your money isn't trapped in the showroom. So let's just say you made a decision 60 days from now, you're like, you know what, it's really not the right fit for me. I want to return it. The money goes back on the credit card that you purchase it on. So versus a typical retailer where they're going to give you a store credit, but now your money's trapped and you've got to buy something there because you're not going to get your money back. And what if there's something you don't like? And that's kind of our whole concept is if we don't have the right fit, we understand. We want you to find the right fit.
Right. And there are so many options now. I was shocked by the number of options. So not only can you have them like raise up, like at the head or at the foot, but there are other technologies too, like cooling. I know there was a big criticism years ago with some of the foam mattresses where they were super warm. And if you're a warm sleeper, right, that's not necessarily a great thing. Tell me a little bit about some of the technologies that your manufacturers are using now. Are there kind of like cool and new updates coming that people might be interested in?
So they've developed the cooling technology. A lot of it is in the material. And people mistake the fact that, I'm going to sleep cold. And it's really not what the cooling technology is. What they're doing is you're pulling away the heat from the body because the old style of memory foam beds, the heat just sat there. There was no place for it to escape. The other thing is with them going with hybrids that they have coils, so you have a lot more airflow with the bed.
The individually wrapped coiling below, which better breathability.
And some are coming out with a technology where it's a little bit underneath the first layer of the bed that also helps pull heat away from you. But really what you're trying to do is dissipate the heat so that your body ends up at the right temperature in order for you to sleep.
I see.
And which is one nice thing about the sleep trials, because you can come in and try a mattress. You can be on it for a half an hour. We've had, people come in at 11 o'clock, go to lunch and come back and be
Take
there until 5. Yeah, pretty much. And they're okay. We've
heard it here, folks.
Yeah, we've made our decision. It's when you have your sleep trial, you might think it could be the right mattress, but then you're like, I just don't know. So sleep trials are nice so that you can really experience that, because when you come into our showroom, all of our mattresses are broken in because they've been on the showroom floor for years.
Yeah.
So your mattress is going to feel a little different when it comes to your home in the box. It's going to just be a little bit more firm, if you will.
Yeah. We're taking just a quick break, but before we jump back in, I want to give you a sneak peek at what's coming this February. Our Love Local issue is all about celebrating the businesses, makers, and service providers who add real value to life here in Northwest Columbus, in the people who make this community feel like home. On the podcast, we're sitting down with passion-driven owners who are doing business differently and pouring heart back into our neighborhoods. You'll walk away with new favorites, fresh perspectives, and a whole lot of pride for where we live. Make sure you're subscribed so you don't miss an episode. And don't forget to grab your free digital copy of the magazine. You'll find the link in the show notes below. How long do mattresses last? And I'm talking about the ones that you sell that, although you have a combination of coil and foam, right?
We do.
But I had always heard that mattresses last like 30 years. But I'm thinking that's not the case anymore. What are you hearing?
So the mattresses do have the longevity. Many of our partners have lifetime warranties, and basically what they're looking for is, the old beds years ago, our parents' bed where they had the big divot in the middle, and, you got on the edge, you rolled to the middle. It was part of a game that you had. These beds don't do that. They're springing back up, and if it does have a dip like that, then typically it's gotten into the springs, which means the springs aren't bouncing back the way it should. And if it's more than an inch and a half, that's where they consider it to be defective.
That's where the warranty comes into play.
So what does that look like? So if I have a divot in the bed or a dip, if it's an inch, like how do I?
Inch and a half. So the best way to describe it is if you took a straight edge across your bed and you're looking at a straight edge and then you can see underneath where you've got a big indentation that's more than an inch and a half, then there's an issue. There's an issue with the bed.
Okay. And that's what your warranty, one of the things that warranty
One of the things
covers.
with the warranty.
Okay.
Some brands have prorated warranties after 10 years, but here's what we look at with beds. They say every 8 to 10 years you're going to get a new bed. And it's not necessarily because your bed's worn out. Our bodies are changing.
Boy, you're not hidden.
Yes.
What we're like in our 20s and 30s, 40s, 50s, and you get 60, 70.
Right.
What we like to sleep on is different, and what our body will be comfortable
That's a really good point that I didn't think about, is that it's not the mattress that goes bad. It's the body.
And you can tell when a person needs a new bed as soon as they come in, especially if it's really, really old. They lay on the first thing, this feels so wonderful. And it could there could be others in there that could be even more wonderful for you, but because their bed is old and it's just time for a new bed.
How do you try out a bed? Like when I've gone to other retailers years ago, right? It was like, okay, here's all the beds, go try them. But like, how do you really know? Like, what does it take to find the right mattress? It just seems so like daunting, doesn't it?
So the first thing we want people to do when they're going to try their bed is find the right kind of pillow that makes sense and try the bed out with all the different beds with the same pillow. This way you're comparing everything apples to apples from that standpoint. The second thing is we want you to lay on the bed the way you sleep on it. When people lay on their back and you see them laying on their back and this is comfortable and we're like, is that the way you sleep? Oh, no, we sleep on our side. Oh, I sleep on my stomach. Well, then that's the way you need to get on the bed.
Sleep position like you would, just like you would at home.
Yep.
And the other thing is lay on it the way the bed is designed to be laid on. We get a lot of people that come in and they sit in the middle of the bed, they lay back, and this is comfortable, this is comfortable. We're like, you're not feeling the whole bed because these beds, many of them are designed with zones to have different type of support for legs, hip areas.
Oh, yeah.
shoulders.
So if you're sitting in the middle, you're not getting the benefit of that.
Yeah, you don't understand what it's really going to feel like.
So don't be a polite mattress trier. Like go in there and
That's
like
what the footers are for at the end of the mattress. Put your feet on those. It's okay. We give everybody a pillowcase that they don't have to encase the pillow. They can just lay it on top of their pillow and just so you could just walk around with your pillow in your little pillowcase.
I love that. And let's talk about pillows because this is a very important thing. I call them matzo pillows because after like a year or 2 or 3, that thing is just flat, right? But I love some of the new technologies that are in these pillows. Like my husband got the one that's cool. I think it's cool on one side.
And then cooled, yes.
Yeah. Mine has a cutout in it because I'm a side sleeper. Mm-hmm. So it has a cutout, which has done wonders for my neck and my shoulders. Talk to me a little bit about the pillow bar that you have and how do you help guide people to choose the right pillow?
I think the first thing we do is, when we find out what kind of sleeper they are, it tends to kind of guide us whether or not, we go through the pillow bar or there's some other pillows that we have on the beds that are a little bit flatter.
Some brand pillows, yeah.
Yeah, because someone that's sleeping on their stomach is not going to want a high pillow.
Right.
Or a side sleeper pillow.
Correct.
Because with the side sleeper, that's the shoulder cutout that you place the cutout right in your shoulder, which keeps your neck and everything aligned when you sleep at night. So, which is a nice feature on the side sleeper pillow.
It takes that pressure off the shoulder.
Yeah.
And the other thing is in our pillow bar, we have different firmnesses. Mm-hmm. So, some like more of a firm pillow, some like something a little bit more soft,
Right.
medium. So that's what we've designed our pillow bar to be.
Yeah, and this way you can try it out and try out different mattresses with the pillow
Correct.
because
Exactly.
it probably does make a big difference.
Mm-hmm.
How does the cooling technology, does it work the same way like on a mattress? It's to dissipate the heat?
Correct.
Yeah, instead of it being like ice cold.
Correct.
Yeah, although I got to tell you, my husband's is cooler. I mean,
Yes.
really, I'm like, this
Yes.
is too cold for me.
Yes.
I need a
Yes.
regular one.
Yeah, I think you bought the other one, didn't you? Did
Yeah,
you?
yeah.
Okay.
Maloof, I think, is
Yes.
the one that I have.
One
which
side is
I love.
cool, and the other side is just regular.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and he loves it.
Yeah.
What are some things, like, for example, with mattresses, it used to be that you had to turn them every 6 months, right? And you flip them this way and that way. What kind of maintenance, what should we be doing to make sure that the mattress is breathing and doing everything it's supposed to do and maintains that longevity?
Right.
A couple things. One, you want to make sure you have a good mattress protector on it that protects your investment. Moisture is one of those things that will break down a bed.
And excuse me, a protector, not a pad. Because a lot of people believe that a pad is protection, but your protector has to be waterproof and 5-sided. They also have completely encased ones, but the protection from the dust mites, like mite tight seams.
Right.
It also helps with the big, like a huge contributor of a breakdown of a mattress is oils from our skin cells, moisture, getting your mattress wet or whatever. That's a big breakdown of a mattress, as well as could affect your warranty as well.
Right.
Okay, so make sure that you have a protector on it,
Yes.
not
Waterproof.
just a pad.
Correct.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay, that makes a lot of sense.
And a pad is a personal preference for more cushion. It's just the protector has to be waterproof.
Yeah.
You have to have that. And a lot of people think, oh, is it going to, am I going to get hot with this protector on because is it going to, what's it made out of, but they're very breathable. It's just, they've changed a lot. It's not like that plasticky, like sound that you would think you would hear underneath the mattress. They're just.
It's important that you rotate your bed head to toe.
Okay. But
during the lifetime of the bed, so you're not flipping it.
okay.
These are one-sided beds, and they're designed this way for a couple different reasons. One, the old style inner spring bed, the springs were a real big part of the comfort. So you had to have comfort layer on both sides of the bed, and your springs are a big part of that comfort layer in order to keep the bed at a reasonable depth. The new style, they're able to take the underneath of the bed, we call it the undercarriage, but that's really your big support network that is solid, with the springs, and they can build it a little bit firmer and give you the support because they're only concerned about comfort on the top. And now they're able to take the top, and that's your comfort layer. So a big misconception people have when they come in is they feel they want the support, so they think that they have to get a firm bed because that's the only way you get your support. And that's not where your support is. Your support is your spring structure, and the top layers of the bed are your comfort. So what you're looking for in the top layers is pressure relief, what feels the best for you. You have the support underneath. So that's kind of a misconception that people sometimes have.
Well, and it just dawned on me, too, that you have such an intimate knowledge of all of these manufacturers that you can really help, right, people to understand, right, where the pressure points will be relieved and how that mattress is manufactured for their comfort, where I don't know that, I'm going to get that on my own if I'm, shopping for a mattress. And it's a big decision. Let's face it.
Yes, and it's an investment. So you want to make sure it's the right one for you.
Right. But I don't need to flip the mattress. I just need to turn it head to toe. That's the major maintenance and put a protector on there.
Correct. Unless we do have a couple beds that are flippable. That you would flip. But typically those mattresses are more flippable because they'll have two different firmnesses.
Yeah.
And we find that with some of the kid mattresses that we sell as well. They are flippable because they're designed to, one side is designed when they're in that 3 to 5 range, and the other side is designed when they get 6 to go up to
6 years old to
10 to 12.
Interesting. So it's different based on the body weight. It'll support them better as they get heavier.
Yes.
I get it.
Yes.
I get it. Boy, lots happened since I had little ones.
Right.
Didn't get the magazine at home? No problem. You can read it for free by signing up for our digital issues. Just head to the link in the show notes. And hey, if you're just listening to this episode, did you know you can watch it too? Catch the full video on YouTube. Link below. What about, do they make a heated mattress?
So there is some technology out there that some of the brands, it's separate from the actual bed. But there are a couple things that, where you can have cooling on one side, heat on another side when you have a couple that's not on the same. It's more designed in the, what do you call that? The bedspread and the top part of it. And there's more mechanical to it because it actually is blowing either cool air or hot air.
Right. And I've seen those they're almost like air conditioners for beds, right? Where they'll blow cold air in if you're really warm. I don't know that I could deal with that. But, and then what about the softness or hardness? Like, what if I need a very soft mattress, but yet my husband needs a very hard mattress? Like, are there ways to adjust the mattresses so that they're firmer or softer?
So there's two ways couples typically will attack that. If they're buying a king-size bed, a lot of times what they'll do is they'll go to 2 twin XLs so that each can have their own firmness. And sometimes that's when they're going to an adjustable base because this way they can control themselves. We do have a brand that in king size has the ability to where you could have soft on one side and firm on the other side.
They'll manufacture it that way.
Yes.
Manufacture it that way.
Yeah, it's a split feel. So when you come into the showroom, we actually have a king size mattress of it. And you get to try out. There's 3 different feels: plush, medium, and firm. And you lay on each side of the mattress. One side might be firm, the other side might be medium. We can also switch it out and put in the plush insert. But that way you can determine what type of a feel you like.
Right.
So, and then the queen size, queen and lower would be all the same feel, but a king size you can do a split feel. And you don't feel the division of the split.
I was going to ask you about that. I was just going to ask, how do people deal with that split in the middle?
Yeah,
that would drive me nuts.
You can't feel it. You just can't. You can't feel it in the king size mattress. The foams or the latex just completely butt up against each other, and it just unzips. And we show people that. You come in, we unzip the top so they can see what it looks like, touch it, feel it, if you will.
That's great.
Yeah.
I love how you are focusing the business as well as the showroom on community types of events. Mm-hmm. Can you talk a little bit, because I think my listeners would be super interested. You do a sound bath, for example, and meditation. Talk about some of these upcoming events, because I just think great concept, great idea, and I love that you're connecting to the community.
Yeah, we actually got started on the sound bath with when we were in our downtown location, and a customer came in and bought a bed, looked at what we were doing, and kind of started talking about the sound bath. And we had talked about, what are some of the events that we could do at the showroom. In the downtown showroom, we did a musical concert where we took out half of the showroom and had local artists playing. We did comedy show. There, one of those Don't Tell. And then Katie came up with a sound bath on the beds. And so when we moved to our new showroom, she really expanded it because we've got, we can take 40 people relaxing on beds, doing a sound bath. It's very relaxing. And they've actually even incorporated some
meditation.
Right. Acupuncture, I think, or pressure,
Mm-hmm.
But we like doing that. It just brings
supporting
people
local businesses, helping them out as well.
That's right.
It's a free space for them to do what they want to do.
Yeah, and it's a great way as well for people to enjoy themselves and network, but also try out, the mattresses, because you just don't know until you really try it.
Right.
Correct.
Yeah.
Yes. Yep.
Tell me a little bit about the work that you're doing with Nationwide and Nationwide Children's Hospital.
So the last 2 years, we've been part of the Butterfly Hero, where we take a percentage of the proceeds that of specific products and donate to Nationwide Children's. And it's been very successful, and customers have really helped us. We're looking at taking it to kind of a new level this next year coming up, really focusing on helping the Nationwide employee group, if you will, with not only the top discounts that you're able to get, but also a percentage of it going back to Children's Hospital on a continuous basis. Children's has a soft spot for my wife and I because fortunately we've used it quite a bit over the years with our younger daughters. So, it's a special place and they're great people. And so that's some of the things that we're doing.
So this means that anyone that's an employee of Nationwide, right?
Correct.
Anyone can come in, right? They get a employee discount, and then you also you provide a certain percentage of the sale back to Children's Hospital.
Correct. Yes.
Yeah. My son, my youngest, was a preemie. We spent a ton of time at Children's Hospital. They are near and dear to my heart as well. So I am so glad to hear you talk about that and that you've got this program going. We'll have more details about that in the show notes. And if you need any information about Sandman Sleep or how to try out a mattress, check the show notes. That will all be there. One final thought for you. Tell us a little bit about what's in store for Sandman Sleep this year. Like, what do you envision for next year?
Growth.
Yeah. Yep.
We have some new brands that are going to be coming into the showroom.
And how do you pick those brands? Like, how do you know what to pick? There's so many out there.
So our partners have been in this industry for years and have great relationships with a lot of the key executives with all of the brands. And for us, the brands, the quality of the mattress is most important. The quality of their customer service, because we really want it to be no hassle. We've heard horror stories where I'm trying to return it, nobody will answer me, and now all of a sudden they're telling me I'm out of my trial period when I've been trying to tell you for 3 weeks that I want to return the mattress.
Yeah, we advocate for our customers.
Yeah. So that's a big thing that we look for in order to get into the showroom, and kind of the history of what kind of returns are they currently getting. The returns when you buy online without trying is a lot higher.
Sure.
So that's where the brands have really gravitated us because they go from a 10 to 15% return rate that they've got to build into their cost model to with us. We're about 1%. I mean, I think I just looked the other day, we've had 2 returns this year.
Oh, that's fantastic. It's good for you and for the manufacturer and for the customer, right? Most important.
And for Mother Earth.
Yeah, exactly, right?
It's great. They say the return rate drops down to what? Less than 3%?
Yeah.
Come in and try it out.
It makes sense.
We did deviate off of her question, though.
Totally fine. I do have one final question, though, because, I'm always full of questions. So you operate a very unique business. And I talk to people all day long, right, that are starting businesses that are so unique. They're not proven because they're so darn brand new. So what advice would you give to those people who are thinking about starting a business or that are already doing it? And I'm not going to say it's an uphill battle, but when you're unique, right, it's a little bit more difficult. What advice would you give to people who are thinking this through?
So I think one of the important things and why we got involved with this business is this thing is definitely a need. And it's not a need, although, sales may go up and down, 10% up, 10% down. But overall, it's not a business that is going to crash for the simple reason that nobody's going to buy a bed in the next 12 months. That just isn't true.
Yeah.
There's a lot of upside to it.
Chase your dreams. Your dreams. Stick with it. It might, the times might be hard at sometimes, but you just, if it's your passion, just stick with it. You just make things happen. I mean,
and make sure you enjoy it.
Yes,
it's so important.
Yes, it is, and we do. We've met so many people, through this journey that we've been on, and people that we stay in touch with or reach out every once in a while. Yeah. It's great. We get referrals. We have. It's just stick to your passion. Like I said, if it just go for it.
I get it. I get it, and through the magazine is how I met you. And you've become near and dear to my heart for 2 years now. And that's not because she just gives me lots of Jolly Ranchers. That is a part of it.
She has some sitting right over there.
I have enjoyed this time with you, as I always do. I love your business. I love the concept. I love what you're doing with our community. And I'm just so grateful that
and we
you
appreciate
spent
your
the time.
support.
Yes, we
and
appreciate everything
we're very
you've done
thankful
for us.
for you as well. Very thankful.
Thank you.
You're part of our success.
Oh, well, I appreciate that. And again, I can't say enough about these two and your business. That is going to be a wrap for this episode of Inside Northwest Columbus. All the details about Sandman Sleep, as well as their upcoming events, will be on their website, but you can also find all of that in the show notes. So until next week, we will see you back here on Inside Northwest Columbus.
Boxland Media. Think big.